Let's see how this goes. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some football, Houston Texans football. Today we're gonna talk about the Houston Texans' potential 2-year plan when it comes to the QB position. We're gonna talk about their actual plan, their goals, what they're trying to get out of this, what they're looking at doing, and what's up on the horizon for the Houston Texans when it comes to the quarterback position. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna break it down before we get into all that. Hey, if y'all really liking the content, make sure y'all liking the channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all comment on all the videos. Y'all sharing the videos on all social media platforms. No matter what social media platform you use, share on all your social media platforms. Also, follow me on social media. The links in the description below. If you click those links in the description, you follow me on social media. We also giving away 30 days free of Amazon Prime. If you sign up to Amazon Prime, you get 30 days free. All those links in the description below. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment on the videos. Let's get this channel growing and growing and growing. Now, let's talk about it. Because like I said, I think Nick Casario, Pep Hamilton, and Lovie Smith have a 2-year plan when it comes to the QB position. I think we're about to enter year one of their 2-year plan when it comes to the quarterback position. I know a lot of y'all out there, y'all believe in the Mills. Y'all hopeful for Mills. Y'all think y'all see some of the Mills. Y'all want to see some of the Mills. Y'all know me. I'm skeptical when it comes to Davis Mills. I don't think that Davis Mills is the guy, but I do think that he's earned the right he's earned the right to play this year and start this year. You don't need to go after nobody via free agency. I think that's part of the reason why they didn't go after Baker Mayfield and the Deshaun Watson trade. You don't know earlier you heard rumors and rumors about Garoppolo. You don't need to do that. Didn't need to go after Kirk Cousins. And I don't think you need to draft a quarterback like a Malik Willis or Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett or Desmond Ridder or Carson Strong. I don't think you need to go after any of those guys in the draft this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I don't think you need to. I think that Davis Mills has earned the right to at least start this season and to see where it goes. And that's why I think this is year one of a potential 2-year plan when it comes to the quarterback position, what the Texans are going to do with Nick Casario. And I think Nick and Pep Hamilton more. I know Lovey's the head coach, but Pep is the offensive coordinator, and the way they built his offensive staff, Lovey basically got to pick his staff. But when it came to his offense, he went through Pep to get the offensive staff. That's why they went out there and got somebody he used to coach with the defenders when Pep Hamilton was the head coach of the XFL. And defenders, they went and got people that he's close with, people that he's know, because they're going to let Pep Hamilton run his Pep Hamilton offense. So I think it's more so that Pep Hamilton and Nick Casario are going to be working hand in hand when it comes to deciding how this offense is going to go, how this offense is going to get dictated, and what quarterback and what they should do with the quarterback position. Now, like I said, I think Davis Mills has earned the right to start. That's part of the reason why I didn't think that they would let go of Brandin Cooks. I wouldn't be surprised, and I know that he signed a 2-year contract in my 2-year extension. I don't really think that means anything. I think if the right deal presents itself, like somebody offers them a high first-round pick. I know you heard rumors about the Jets offering the 10th pick to Seattle to get DJ Metcalf. Now, obviously, I don't think the Jets will offer the 10th pick to the Texans for Brandin Cooks. But just say, hypothetically, if they would have, I think the Texans will move Brandin Cooks for the 10th overall pick. I think the Texans will move Brandin Cooks for a high first-round pick. I think the Texans will move Brandin Cooks for a first-round pick in general. Like I brought up Buffalo, I brought up Green Bay, I brought up Kansas City in the video talking about Brandin Cooks. I do think if those teams will offer a first-round pick, Brandin Cooks would be gone. But if anybody's offering a second-round pick, they probably not. They know what we'd rather have Brandin Cooks, because if you get rid of Brandin Cooks, you hurt the evaluation of Davis. You cannot properly evaluate Davis Mills without Brandin Cooks. Like no matter if you for Davis Mills or against Davis Mills, you all have to be sitting here and be honest. You cannot get a proper, legitimate evaluation on Davis Mills if he's out there throwing to Nico Collins and Chris Moore and Chris Conley and Brevin Jordan and Farrell Brown as his primary targets. I know we just signed Marlon Mack, and Marlon Mack is his running back. Like you're not going to be able to judge him properly and properly evaluate him. Now, I do think that they possibly could go after some offensive talent in the draft. I wouldn't be surprised if they take a receiver with one of those with the late first round pick in 13. Especially if they decide to trade back some more. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a running back in the second round, like a Brees Hall. So I do think offensive talent will get added in against what I think they should do. I think they should focus strictly on defense when it comes to this draft. But I wouldn't be surprised if they add in offensive talent to help the evaluation and to help out Davis Mills, because he's going to need weapons. I don't care, like I said, if you're for Davis Mills or against Davis Mills, he's going to need weapons. But this is going to be his trial period. And you've seen the whole the Texans were at the Ohio State's pro day. I think that was more so to take a look and a gander at Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. I think that was more so looking at them. It was at Alabama's pro day. I do think that was more so to look at Jameson Williams and the other receiver that I know actually been linked to the Texans for a while, like in the third round. I think they were looking at them. That's the reason why they were there. But both Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud led the pro days for those receivers. And you seen, especially at the Ohio State one, Pep was real cozy and real talking to C.J. Stroud. And I said, don't make too much a big deal of it. They got a free evaluation out the process. They come to look at the receivers, but they not to say they're not looking at C.J. Stroud. They looked at C.J. Stroud and they talked to C.J. Stroud. And then the report said they were very highly impressed when it comes to Bryce Young and his pro day. And they really want to take another look at Bryce Young. That's why I say it's a 2-year process and a 2-year plan. That's the reason why I say those draft capital that they got back in the Deshaun Watson trade was very key. Was very, very key. Because what they're trying to do, and they're trying to not put all the eggs in one basket, but they're trying to gather up as much draft capital as they possibly can. So say the Texans don't have the worst record in the NFL. Don't have the second worst record in the NFL. Say the Texans end up picking 5th or 6th or 7th. They have the Browns pick. Who's to say? I do think they're going to trade back in this year's draft with 3 and 13. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade both of those picks and trade back. But I think they're going to trade back one of them. More than likely, I think they're going to trade back from 3. The more I think about it, I think they're going to trade back from 3. Look at Carolina with their 6th spot. And Carolina doesn't have a second-round pick this year because they traded a second-round pick to get Sam Darnold from the Jets. So they don't have a second-round pick. Watch the Texans move pick 3 to pick 6 and gain a future first. That's very key. Because then if they do that, if they go from 3 to 6 and then pick up a future first, and now next year have 3 firsts, they have their first, they have Carolina's first, and have Cleveland's first. They're setting themselves up that if they have to go out there to guarantee they can get a C.J. Stroud or a Bryce Young, they can do it. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. I think that also has anything to do with the Brandin Cooks trade as well. That's why I say if a first round pick presents itself, even if a future first round pick, even if it's not for this year's draft, if a future first round pick presents itself, like, hey, we'll give you next year's first for Brandin Cooks, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. They might be a little bit less to do it because, like I said, I think Brandin Cooks. I know Brandin Cooks and Nick Casario, not Nick Casario, but Jack Easterby are very, very close. So I know that he doesn't want to get rid of Brandin Cooks, but I can see that I can see Nick Casario doing it, like I said, to try to hedge his bets and make sure he can get a quarterback in the next year's draft if he has to. I see what the Texans are doing. The Texans are basically hedging their bets right now. That's exactly what they're doing. They're seeing what they got in Davis Mills, and they're going to see if they have to go after a quarterback next year. Will they? That's why I say 2-year plan. That's why this right is a 2-year plan. They went out there, they looked at the receivers. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft Garrett Wilson at Ohio State and then draft their other receiver from Alabama like in the 3rd round. That way, next year, if they have to move up to get a quarterback, no matter if they get C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, they already have a receiver he's close with. Either way, hedging their bets. Putting themselves in a position that no matter what, they already have the receiver that they want. They already have, no matter which quarterback they get. Because we see Pep Hamilton really cozy, buddy with C.J. Stroud and his pro day, him and Lovie Smith, to be honest with you. But then you also seen that reports of the Texans were very, very impressed by Bryce Young's pro day well, not his pro day, but the Alabama's pro day, and Bryce Young was the one who was throwing the football. And again, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, they knew what they was doing as well. They knew these other teams were going to be out there to look at them. Look at the receivers. They found a way to sneak themselves into an evaluation process. Hey, look at me now. Look at me right quick. Look at me. Make sure you see me. Make sure you remember me come April of 2023. Because if you need a quarterback, I'm here. So they know what they was doing, and that's very. I know they ain't got agents because they're still collegiate guys. They haven't hired agents yet. They are very, very smart, and whoever gave them that advice, kudos to you. Very, very smart. That was a very, very, very smart thing to do. And the Texans, it's a very, very smart thing to do to get that free evaluation process. And any other team that was in that process that possibly could be looking for a quarterback went to those pro days and got a free evaluation process of both C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Hey, hats off to you as well. Those are very, very smart. Those are little smart things to do. Those are little smart, little not nitpicky, but very holes in the argument, loopholes rather. Like very, very found another way to get. You know how I would say it's more than one way to skin the cat. Like find another way to go out there and evaluate a quarterback secretly, not secretly, but like. Not really cheap, but an extra way. Now you have a leg up on the competition because teams who didn't go to those pro days, like not just scouts, I mean general managers, offensive head coaches, offensive coaches, and guys who didn't go to the pro days because like they not looking at a quarterback or they think about something, they not looking for a receiver or whatever. Didn't get those processes. Like I don't know if the Titans were there, but if nobody from the Titans organization was there as far as like coaches staff, I ain't talking about just regular scouts. I'm talking about general managers and coaches. If they didn't go to those pro days, they might need a quarterback future. They're going to need one. Things like that. So I'm just using them as an example. Pittsburgh the same way. Like I don't know if those guys were there or not, but that's a way that you get an extra evaluation behind the deal. And when it comes, like I said, when it comes to Davis Mills, I think that the fan base operates that Davis Mills is the franchise quarterback more so than the Texans organization operates that Davis Mills is the franchise quarterback. Like, what have the Texans done to make you think that that Davis Mills is the franchise quarterback? Anytime somebody has a guy that they're making the franchise quarterback, the franchise makes it known that they're the franchise quarterback. Don't care if it's year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, whatever. They make it known. The Texans have not gave you any indication that they are willing to make Davis Mills the franchise quarterback. That he is the franchise. He's the undisputed franchise quarterback. They haven't. They haven't won anybody. They didn't go after anybody free agency. Now we'll see about the draft. I think they're going. I think that the way it's looking now, like I said, against my better judgment, the way it's more and more looking out, they probably will end up drafting some offensive talent. I think they will kind of end up drafting some offensive talent. Not just in the second round. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up drafting somebody offensively in the first round. I don't think they're going to draft an offensive lineman. I know we see a lot of people talk about offensive lineman at 3. I don't, because the only offensive lineman you're taking at 3, you're taking either Ickey or you're taking Evan Neal. And I don't think both of them is going to be there. And 2, I don't think that they'll take one because both of them are mostly tackles, even though both of them can play inside. And Ickey played more inside than I think he played more inside than he did tackle, but he's basically known to play outside, to play tackle. You re-sign, you re-signed, renegotiated, or redid a Tunsil's deal. You just got Tyus Howard 3 years ago. I don't think that they're going to go after a tackle, so it would be an inside guy. 3 is too high to take Tyler Linderbaum, who I think they would go after, but 3 is too high to take Tyler Linderbaum. So I don't think that they're going to go after offensive lineman. So, but they could. And if they did, that act right, if they do go after offensive lineman, shout out to my boy Honcho, shout out to everybody there on Soft Sports. But Honcho brought this up the other day on the stream, saying that if they go after offensive lineman, he'll take that as a sign that they do believe in Mills. And I actually agree. Because Davis Mills versus any quarterback in this draft, when you're talking about Pickett, Corral, Willis, Ritter, next year C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, He needs a strong offensive lineman more than any of those quarterbacks. That's the main thing for him. He needs protection because he's not a mobile guy. He's a guy. Him and Carson Strong are both pocket passers. They got to stay in the pocket. They did not throw well on the run. They're not good moving around. They're not good getting out of trouble. So you need to get a sturdy, strong offensive line. So they need offensive line more than anything. You worry about the weapons after. With those two guys, with them, you need offensive line, you need protection. So if they did do that, then that would be a sign, okay, that they are looking at they do consider this guy being the franchise guy. I know you're saying, well, you need an offensive line for everybody. No matter if you do go get Bryce Young next year, no matter if you do get CJ Stroud, yes, I understand that. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. But you also want to see what a guy can do weapon wise. And I don't care if you have a brick wall in front of him. He still needs playmakers. I like Nico. I don't know if Nico's. I like Nico. I don't know if Nico. Don't think Nico's a 1. I think he's a decent 2. But I think you need somebody else, another bona fide guy. I like Brandin Cooks. Brandin Cooks is a deep threat and a guy who you can get the ball to in space. He can do some dangerous things. I don't think he's a legitimate number 1. I don't. I know New Orleans drafted him with a first-round pick. I know he was traded to New England and then traded to the Rams, both for first-round picks. And then we got a second-round pick for him. I don't think he's a number 1 guy. I know people want to make Brandin Cooks number 1 guy, but when him, Fuller, and Deshaun was here, Deshaun mostly went to Will Fuller. And I know Brandin Cooks ended up having 1,000 yards, and Will Fuller didn't. That's mostly because Will Fuller got suspended the last 4 games of the season. He threw to Will Fuller more. Will Fuller was more of a number 1 receiver than Brandin Cooks was. Brandin Cooks was number 1 receiver last year because of the type of team he's on. He's going to be the number 1 receiver on this team because of this team, not because he's a bona fide number 1 receiver. There's a difference. And I like Brandin Cooks. I think Brandin Cooks is a number 2. I think Brandin Cooks is a number 2. So you got like a number 2 and a number 2A or number 2B in Nico. And you don't have a legitimate type. I like to see what Brevin Jordan can do. I want to like Brevin Jordan, but I don't know if Brevin Jordan is a bona fide number 1 tight end. I think he's a guy who you can get the ball to. He can do some things for you offensively, but he's not. He's definitely not no Kelsey or no Zach Ertz when he was in Philadelphia, or no Gronk, or he's not even the Owen Daniels. Like he's not that type of tight end. So you don't have a bona fide weapon for him. We already talked about the running game, the worst running game in franchise history last year. And you brought in Marlon Mack, who rushed for 1,000 yards in Indy before, but Indy has a massive offensive line as well. So you need offensive talent and offensive weapons to help evaluate the process, to help evaluate your quarterback, to put your quarterback in a legitimate spot. Because things the teams do, if they like a quarterback or they want to see about quarterback, either or, they give them weapons. You see what Miami just did? They drafted Waddle last year. We'll go after trade all that draft capital to get Tyreek Hill. They want to know about Tua. They're going to know about Tua. They're going to know by the end of this year if it's Tua, if Tua's the problem, or if Tua's the problem, or if Tua's the guy. Same thing you said. The rumor about the Jets wanting to trade the 10th overall pick for DK Metcalf. They want to know. They drafted Elijah Moore last year. And they went out there and got Corey Davis. They want to get a number 1 receiver over there, so they know. Buffalo, they went out there and got Diggs. The Cardinals got Hopkins from us. Denver drafted all those receivers: Cortland Sutton, KJ Holloman, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant. Got all these receivers and tight ends. They wanted to know exactly if Drew Lock was the guy. Found out that Drew Lock was not the guy. Drew Lock had no more excuses. He wasn't the guy. They go after Russell Wilson. Like, when you know about a guy, or you want to see about a guy, you add receivers and weapons around them so they have no excuse. Or you can maximize their talent and they go out there and they put their best foot forward and they bring you to the they get you a championship. They didn't give him a championship, but the Bengals go after Jamar Chase. Go after T. Higgins. They drafted T. Higgins and Wichita in the same draft, but go after Jamar Chase, his running man in college. Get him to the Super Bowl. When you have faith in a guy or you want to see about a guy, you add talent around him. Now, we'll see what happens via the draft. Because via the free agency, they didn't add talent around. We're going to see what happens in the draft. But the way it's looking like, the Texans themselves are not operating that Davis Mills is the franchise guy. The fans more act like the fans are more defensive of Davis Mills than the franchise themselves. Because I think they are putting themselves in a two-year window where if Davis Mills doesn't do anything this season, doesn't do anything too impressive, he has a full year. He has a full year, 17 games. Hey, no Deshaun Watson, no Tyrod Taylor. Your backup is I'm about to say Josh Allen. Your backup is Kyle Allen. Hey, it's all you, cuz. All you. Go do what you gotta do. And if you trash, we not tripping. We got draft capital for the next 2 years, multiple draft picks. We got 4 draft picks in the next 2 drafts, four first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. Potentially end up getting more if they trade back in this draft. We're going to go after a quarterback if we have to. We got free evaluation on both C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. We're going to see exactly what's going to happen. We're going to see exactly what's going to happen. Like I say, it's a 2-year plan. This year is year 1. Next year, potentially year 2. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't, comment below. If you haven't clicked that bell, get more videos. I holla.